56. Poe. We are allowed to travel to the cottage by the lake now. The care team sees this as a good exercise, so we go. There's so much fun to be had, you see, girls, says Thea, who comes from Stockholm in an old school bus borrowed from friends of friends, and proudly rings the horn. It is May, and we leave the street together with the gentle breeze coming from the sea. Michael is playing with Mim at the back of the bus, and Lisa is sitting with the twins next to their car seats that the ladies have secured firmly to the bus seat with ropes. The ladies will be on vacation while we are away. Thea has been put in charge of us, so we leave the residential street. We drive away from Helsingborg up among the free hills and royal beech forests where the sunlight chases the shadows on the asphalt road. Thea is chatting with Miriam. We listen to music from a portable radio, but an hour into the journey we fall silent. The truth hits. The last time we traveled this road, we were other girls. The future lay before us like a promise. The sisters had school friends and hobbies. We had a family, or so we thought. But then we didn't have that. Then we had nothing, not even sunlight. Everything we knew and felt disappeared. And no matter what we'll do, we will always be the basement girls. We ride together in the bus, let the asphalt road plow through us. Eva thinks of our mother and then of another mother, one she longs for but will never have. She is the mother now. Lisa gets her palpitations, gets heart palpitations and a cold feeling behind her forehead and wants to leave like lightning and never come back. Esther thinks of my broken body in the darkness and my broken vertebrae and of children lost. Ada remembers the brown state concrete and how one day she gave up looking for gaps or voids. Adina laughed sadly to herself. Naomi listens to the noise of the asphalt, wants to close her eyes and come home. Miriam is confused. Sometimes she doesn't remember the basement, her mother or father. Sometimes she remembers nothing, and if she was not with us, she's afraid that she will forget everything that exists. Judith wants to turn around, wants to go back and find a safe place to hide. But the feeling passes as surely as a gust of wind, and we return to our comic books and crafty work and small children, while the whole of beautiful summer Sweden waves at us outside the window. The journey progresses slowly with many stops and coffee breaks, and Thea stands and talks about the weather with the cashiers, so that we almost forget our worries. And in the evening, Thea has to take a nap in the parking lot behind a roadside restaurant. We all sleep on the bus seats until early dawn, when Thea goes and buys coffee and a big bag of buns, and then hits the gas pedal. It is morning when the bus rolls in through the trees. Grief lifts like fog and is replaced by quiet wonder. And so we roll onto the gravel road that after a few minutes in the bus rolls straight into the driveway of the cottage by the lake. Yes, the cottage is still standing and is the same. For a lake and an honest old cottage, 6 years may not make much difference. The land is the land it has been since the Neanderthals. We sweep in and the ground carries us. Well, everything is the same, and now we can show Michael. We take him to the thinking stone where Esther and Ada lay philosophizing, the theater where Adina and Naomi put on their plays, the cherry trees, which now in early summer are full of fluffy blossoms and small bitter red berries, and then the beach, the rocks, and the duck. The Wilson sisters pass on their experiences to Michael and to Mim and the twins, who frolic between the bathing tub in the sunshine and the microcosm of the water's edge. Thea has cleaned out the shed. There's now a bunk bed, a chest of drawers, and a small table with 2 chairs. There are yellow striped curtains in the window, and a tiny cactus is soaking up mild early summer light in the window frame. There's a row of hooks on the wall where 2 new dressing gowns hang, and a painting depicting a winding road between hills. This is where Adina and Naomi will live. A new shed or small guest house stands on the other side of the yard, still unpainted, but with a fine tarred roof, a window, and a door. Esther and Ada will live there, sleeping in a bunk bed with pink bedspreads and writing in their diaries at a small white table. Upstairs in the house, the little sisters and the 2 new little families, Lisa and Eva, sleep in the 3 bedrooms with the same wallpaper but nice new beds from IKEA, new pillows, duvets, and curtains, and all the textiles smell freshly washed. Lisa's room has 2 cribs for Andy and Alex, as the twins are called. Lisa wanted them to be strong and independent, so they were given American male names to keep them on track. The twins are blue-eyed and curly-haired and gentle creatures because they don't need to be tough when they have a tiger for a mother. Downstairs it looks the same, but clean and tidy, with new curtains and sofa cushions. The pantry is full. So are the refrigerators, too, filled to the brim with cheese, milk, cream, sausages, turkey, ham, carrots, tomatoes, apples, bananas, chicken, and fish. The days fly by and the weeks pass, and the 2 weeks we were supposed to stay in the cottage become 3. We tell the ladies that we want to stay. Dr. Rodenfeld thinks we should come to Helsingborg now, but we don't want to. Then he gets tired of us, doesn't know what to do with us. But we are out in the grass, in the flowering wild meadow, sneaking over moss, between blueberry bushes. We sit on the warm brick tiles on the roof and look far out over sky and lake. And then we wash, bake, paint the Esther and Ada shed, look after small children, of course. And so Eva starts to swim again, early mornings, just as we stumble out of our beds and go out to warm ourselves in the morning sun. We can see the wave that Eva's young body leaves on the surface of the water. But then she dives, and we don't see her until her head breaks the surface like a dot far out. I feel her enjoying the blackness of the water, the freedom that is both heavy and floating, the strength that is her. Thea shows up in the morning together with her two friends who came to visit Härjedalen a few days earlier. The buzz around us, jumping in where needed to, to explain something to Judith, or to comfort a twin, or play badminton or croquet with Adina and Naomi. Sometimes we go out for rides in the bus, just driving with the radio on and the wind feeling warm as it passes over us, so that our hair dances like the leaves on big tree in the fall. We stop somewhere to visit a flea market, watch foals in a paddock, or have an ice cream. Adina and Naomi are sometimes nowhere to be found. They are in the forest, and I can hear their hearts beating, talking to each other, getting to know each other again. Naomi is silent and calm as a mare when she enters the kitchen after a long stay among moss and birch. "There you are, dear. Where's Adina?" asks Thea. "Adina is called Loki now, and she is a boy who was born in the wrong body. So now we have a brother, and that's good. We needed one." Naomi answers and looks steadily from one to the other. "Loki, it is." "You just have to accept it," says Lisa, mimicking Dr. Odenfeld with a playful twinkle in her eye. There's another boy coming. His name is Johannes, and he's 15 years old, and he was going to start laying drains, but stayed all evening while we cooked and ate and played games. He lives in the small community, but dreams of moving, maybe to Stockholm, maybe abroad. He comes back, and he, Ada, and Esther start to go for walks together in the woods, until Ada says she doesn't want to go because she wants to lay in the sun on a blanket and read her book. Then they go away, just Esther and Johannes. When they come home, Esther is calm and bright. Johannes comes often. He spends time with Loki too, who follows him like a happy shadow. Lisa is out practicing driving with Thea. Then she finds out about motocross club through Johannes, and one day she and Thea go there to investigate. The guys up there let her try driving, and she races through the woods as fast as the metal holds. Us little ones, Miriam, Judith, and Bo, live down by the lake. Loki builds a raft for us, which we take off on and dive into the depths. We swim like otters back and forth, climb the rocks, and explore. Then the strawberries, cherries, raspberries, and blackberries ripen. We are small, and life is in front of us, but also behind us, making us sit still and silent, losing ourselves in the playful movement of the lake and the depths below. We practice sign language and make up new signs for pantstropper, carpet rider, booknut, a crazy language that makes us laugh. We hang from tree branches and practice diving from the dock. When we get home, we eat as much dessert as we can, and we grow, and in just a few weeks, we are not so little anymore. 57. Bo. Bo is sitting on the smooth chair seat, eating a sandwich with lots of butter while Thea is talking on the phone. My legs are dancing a bit under the table while I lick the butter. But when Thea hangs up the phone and looks at me, Bo's legs stop dancing. Well, that's a bit of news to digest. Sometimes I wonder if the whole world is crazy. Ada comes into the kitchen. She sits down at the table with me. A fly buzzes against the window pane where Thea's geranium stands red and proud in a pot. It was Lena who called, Thea tells us. What did she want? Ada asks, tense. Girls, please come into the kitchen, Thea calls. Eva comes, and Esther. Lisa appears in the door. Miriam, Judith, and Loki are playing on the lawn, and we let them be. We sense it. The police have released your mother from custody. They say she was a victim of your father, just like you girls were. They say that she has requested custody for the ones who are minors. Esther closes her eyes and hides her tears behind the curtain of her hair. But we are here now. It's Judith. We have come here. Eva spreads her arms as if she doesn't understand the language or can't breathe air anymore. Are they all out of their minds? It's not a very good idea, is it? Says Thea. They're crazy. What are they doing? Lisa gasps. Yes, one can really wonder about that. Ada leans her forehead against her arm. And now, my sensible Ada is crying. Thea pats her dark hair. Bo, honey, what do you think of this? Bo has nothing to say about such things. We are leaving in a week. We're leaving the lake house again. Mom is waiting, hungry. She wants Judith and Miriam and Naomi and Loki and Bo. They belong to her, she says. Everyone in Helsingborg listens to Mom. He and she lived in the house. She looked healthier and had put on weight, was doing voluntary work with young people caught up in drug or alcohol abuse. There was talk of her getting a permanent job. She told herself that she was good and believed herself. She protected the children from the world. Her little retarded Bo, her little meaningless Judith, and that awful Ada, the older ones who were sinful. No, disregarding what people would say if they knew the secret in the basement. She knew best. He and she protected their daughters, and for that service, the daughters had to pay a small price. That was all. That was the law. We are stunned. We stumble. We see nothing. All shapes are blurred. We cannot breathe. We cannot protest. She pulls us like puppets. They talk to Lena on the phone, who says, yes, but Mom gets a chance. She deserves it. She is your mother. It will be fine. We look everywhere, in moldings and rafters and clouds. We were the ones who would have a chance, we thought. We gather in our living room. I don't agree. Neither do I, but we have to, says Ada. She is our mother, says Loki. This must not happen. But we have no choice, Judith snarls. They say we have to leave. That she wants to take care of us, Miriam asks quietly. That she has changed, says Judith. But don't you remember? Don't you remember anything? Ada exclaims. She belongs in jail. But she's not going. No, she's getting away. And she's the victim, apparently. Help, Judith whispers. Bo looks at little Judith and her little life and her little tentative dream of maybe becoming a nurse when she grows up. Bo closes her eyes. Big tree is green, leaves are silky smooth. Help, big tree. Help, yellow bush. And the darkness sweeps in now and it says, I will always chase after you. I will always catch up. You think you can have a happy ending? Never. Do you think you can have a chance at life? It's already over and done for you. You and everyone you love will suffer and die, and it's your fault. The sisters' voices rise in the house, and the toddlers cry. Dear girls, we'll work it out. It'll be fine, Thea tries. Shut up and get out of here. You don't know anything. You weren't there, screams Lisa, who is dark and distorted. She grabs Thea's arm and drags her out. You were supposed to protect us, cries Judith to everyone. Why didn't you explain how it is? Loki says to Eva. Eva is pale and thinks of the silent depths of the lake where she longs to go. Lisa smashes a flower pot into the wall and stabs a shard into her thigh, causing Miriam to scream. You bastard, I hate you. You ruin everything. Leave me alone. Shut up, Naomi. I hate you all. Stop screaming, you brat. It's your fault. You are always disobedient. No, it's your fault. You just do what you want all the time. Leave me alone, Judith cries. Chapter 56 and 57 comments. Time heals all wounds. Well, perhaps not, but time is definitely a healing force. Peace and quiet, just to be, has been important, sometimes the most important thing. The problem was that my mother constantly intruded on me after I'd broken off contact with her and reopened the cracks. I think she was fully aware that I'd been abused by my father. She had some perversions of her own. I think she's a sadist. She's been part of creating the rift, and that rift sometimes lead to a lot of self-loathing, anxiety, and doubt. She both intruded on me, had no emotional boundaries, and mocked and attacked me. It's hard to say which of my parents actually caused the most harm. Perhaps it is my mother, because she placed so much responsibility on me. She was both my abuser, my child, and my victim. Yes, that is how she saw herself, as a victim. I think that whatever else she was due to her own traumas, the sadism is something for which she is responsible. Only a small percentage of those who are abused become abusers themselves. And I'm also thinking about all the kids that get sent back to one or both parents that have abused them and how extremely damaging that is and what a betrayal that is. Everyone does not deserve to have children.